Welcome back to WZ Tales. In today's story, we explore what happens when a boyfriend is sure his girlfriend is cheating, only to learn she's secretly unemployed, drowning in debt, and terrified he will see her as a failure. As you listen, notice the moment where you think he should have pushed harder and the moment where you think he should have softened. My girlfriend said, "I'm a failure." I replied, "You don't need to be perfect to be loved by me." Then I checked where she went, read the emails she hid from me, sat down to fix her career and debt, and I just watched as her biggest secret turned into a very different question for us. My name is Ryan. My girlfriend Lena and I had been together for 3 years. We moved in together about a year and a half ago, into a small 2-bedroom in the Mission District in San Francisco. We split rent pretty evenly, even though I made a bit more as a cybersecurity engineer. She worked in marketing for a small fashion company. I have never seen myself as the jealous type. In 3 years, I had never checked her phone, never tracked her location, never questioned where she was. Lena was independent and driven. That was one of the things I loved about her. She used to talk my ear off about her campaigns. She would show me mock-ups on her laptop, ask about colors, ask what taglines sounded better. I did not really know anything about branding, but I liked how excited she got. Then, about 2 months ago, something changed. It started small. She began waking up earlier, 6 in the morning instead of her normal 7:30. She said she wanted to start going to the gym before work. I thought that sounded healthy, but she came home at the same time as always, around 6:30 in the evening. No gym bag. She did not look like she had just worked out. When I asked what she did, she was vague. "Oh, I just did some light cardio. Just walked on the treadmill." Then came the late nights. 3 or 4 times a week she would text around 5 and say she was grabbing dinner with co-workers. Before this, she might do that once a month. Now it was constant. She would come home around 10 at night saying she had been at some restaurant downtown, but she never brought leftovers. She did not look happy or full. If anything, she looked drained. She would go straight to the bedroom, change into sweats, and scroll her phone. But the phone itself was the thing that really got to me. Lena used to leave her phone everywhere. On the couch, on the counter, on the bed. Suddenly, it was always in her hand or in her pocket. Late at night, calls would come in and she would walk out to the balcony to take them. When I asked who it was, she would say, "Just a friend," or "work stuff." At 11 p.m. on a Saturday, then she put a passcode on her phone. In 3 years, she had never used one. I only noticed because my phone was dead one morning and I went to use hers to check the weather. The lock screen asked for a code. Later, when I mentioned it, she got defensive. I am allowed to have privacy, Ryan. And she was, of course. Everyone is. But it did not feel like normal privacy. It felt like a wall going up. At this point, a lot of people would jump straight to cheating. The signs were there on the surface. Late nights, secretive phone habits, emotional distance, new routines she would not explain. I tried to talk to her. "Hey, are you doing okay? You seem stressed lately," I said. "I'm fine, just busy with work." The second time I asked, she sighed. "Ryan, I'm handling it." The third time, she snapped. "Can you stop hovering? I feel like I can't breathe." That one stung. I was not trying to control her. I was worried. After that, my brain went to dark places anyway. Then one day, I found something in her bag. I was not snooping. She had asked me to grab her lip balm from her purse. When I opened it, I saw a small envelope. Inside was a business card from a company I did not recognize and what looked like an interview confirmation letter. My stomach dropped. The company was across town. I looked them up later. Trendy tech startup. Open office. Plants everywhere. The kind of place where a marketing coordinator could meet a lot of new people. I started noticing other changes. She did her makeup more carefully in the mornings, but not for me. It felt like she was getting ready for someone else. New perfume. She put it on even when she said she was only going to the grocery store. I felt like I was losing my mind. We had talked about marriage. I had been saving up for a ring. Now I was standing in the kitchen wondering if she was quietly planning to leave. Part of me wanted to walk up and say, "Are you cheating on me?" and force the truth out. Another part was terrified she would say yes, so I did what a lot of people do now. I turned to the internet, to strangers, asking if these were signs of cheating and what I should do. Most of the answers said the same thing: talk to her, be direct, ask. Instead, I did something else. We already had Find My iPhone set up in case either of us lost our phone or had an emergency. One day, I opened it and checked where she was going. I told myself this was a one-time thing. I just needed to see if she was really at her office or somewhere else. This was the moment I stopped acting like a partner and started acting like a detective. What I saw did not fit the story I had in my head. On Monday, she left at 8 in the morning wearing her work blazer. But instead of going to her office on 3rd Street, her phone showed up at a WeWork in Soma. She stayed there from about 8:30 until 4, then moved to a Starbucks for 2 more hours. She came home at 7, looking exhausted. "How was work?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Fine, busy day." She went straight to the bedroom. On Tuesday, she went somewhere else, a building near City Hall. I Googled it: Job Bridge Career Services, resume workshops, job placement help. She was there from 10 to 2, then at the public library until 5. When she came home, I saw a folder she quickly slid into her bag. "What's that?" I asked. "Just some paperwork." On Wednesday, she spent the entire day at a Panera on Market Street, 9 to 6. I watched the little dot sit in the same spot for hours. What kind of cheating schedule is that, I thought. Career centers, co-working spaces, public libraries. I was confused. It did not match the love affair story I had built. It looked more like someone hiding a job hunt. That night I could not take it. She was on her laptop at the kitchen table. I walked over. "Are you looking for a new job?" I asked. The look on her face was pure panic, like I had just caught her doing something illegal. She slammed the laptop shut. "That is none of your business," she said. "None of my business. We live together. We have been together 3 years. If you are planning to leave your job, don't you think I should know? It is complicated, Ryan." "Complicated how? Just tell me what is going on." She stood up, grabbed her laptop, and walked to the bedroom. "I can't talk about this right now." "Can't or won't, both." Her eyes were wet. She turned away. "Just drop it, okay?" But I could not drop it. The next morning, she went to shower. Her laptop was open on the bed. Her email was still logged in. I hesitated. Then I sat down. At the top of the screen was her LinkedIn profile. There was a green Open to Work tag with roles listed: marketing coordinator, content strategist, digital marketing manager. My hands were shaking as I clicked into her email. There were dozens of job applications, different companies, different positions, subject lines like "following up on marketing coordinator position" and "thank you for your time today." There were rejection emails, so many rejection emails. "Thank you for your interest, but we have decided to move forward with other candidates." Week after week after week. Some of the jobs paid less than what she had been making. One entry-level social media role listed $45,000 a year. She had been making 65. Then I opened an email thread with her friend Monica. The preview line said, "It's killing me having to lie to him about where I'm going every day." Monica had written, "You need to tell Ryan about the job situation. He loves you. He is not going to judge you. It has been 6 weeks. How much longer can you keep this up?" Lena replied, "As long as it takes. Not until I have something lined up." I heard the shower turn off. I closed the laptop and walked out of the bedroom, my mind spinning. That night, neither of us said anything. We ate dinner in silence. She went to bed early. I stayed up until 2 in the morning trying to make sense of what I had seen. She was not cheating. She was unemployed, and she had been lying to me for almost 2 months. The next morning, Friday, I woke up determined to get answers. But when I stepped out of the bedroom, she was already gone. No note. I checked Find My iPhone. She was at yet another coffee shop across town. I texted her, "We need to talk tonight." 3 hours later, she replied, "Okay." All day, I had a knot in my stomach. I knew this conversation was going to change something. I just did not know which way. She came home at 6:15. I was on the couch. The moment I saw her, I could tell she had been crying. Her eyes were red. Her shoulders were tight. She set down her bag and stood by the door. "I know you have been checking my location," she said quietly. "I'm not stupid." I did not deny it. I needed to know what was going on, I said. You have been lying to me for weeks. I know. Her voice broke. She walked over and sat at the far end of the couch. You are right. I have been lying. I waited. Ryan, she said, I lost my job 7 weeks ago. Everything stopped. What, they laid off half the marketing department, budget cuts. I got an email on a Wednesday morning, had to pack my desk and be out that day. She started crying. I have been pretending to go to work every day because I did not know how to tell you. 7 weeks. She had been putting on work clothes and leaving the house every morning for 7 weeks. Why would you lie about that? I asked, honestly confused. Because you are doing so well, she said, waving her hand at me. Your career is stable, you are moving up, you make good money, and I am a failure. I could not even keep a basic marketing job. Lena, layoffs happen. It is not your fault. It feels like my fault, she said, voice rising. Everyone on LinkedIn is posting about promotions and new roles. I cannot even get a call back. I have applied to 63 positions, Ryan. Do you know how many interviews I have gotten for? And I ruined all of them. I could see it in their faces. I moved closer, reached for her hand. She pulled away. There is more, she said. My stomach dropped again. I am in debt, bad debt. She stared at her hands. I have about 12,000 in student loans and credit cards combined, 4,000 in loans. The rest is credit cards. When I was working, I was managing. I paid about $800 a month. But now she pulled out her phone, opened her banking app and handed it to me. I saw 3 credit card balances, around 4,000 on one, almost 4,000 on another, just over 2,000 on the third. Her checking account had $347. I have been using one credit card to pay the minimum on another, she said. Last month, I took a cash advance from one card to pay the other card. The fee was $50. The interest rate is 27.99%. If I keep going like this, I will owe $20,000 by the end of the year. I have been making it look like I still have income, but it is all fake. I did not want you to know. I did not want you to see me as a burden. She showed me her last statement. The minimum payment was $125. The interest charged that month was $112. She was barely paying down anything. A burden, I repeated. Lena, we are partners. Are we though? She asked. Her voice was small. Because I do not feel like a partner. I feel like someone you have to take care of. Every time you asked how work was, I wanted to disappear. Every time I watched you pay rent, knowing I could barely cover my part, it killed me. I did not want you to look at me the way I look at myself. And how is that? I asked. Like I am worthless. The word hung between us. I would never see you that way, I said. You say that now, she said. But what about when I cannot pay rent? What about when you cover everything because I am broke? How long until you start resenting me? How long until you realize you can do better? Is that really what you think of me? I asked. Now I could feel anger under the hurt. You think I would leave because you lost your job? You think I am that shallow? I think you deserve someone who has their life together, she said. And right now, that is not me. We both stood there, breathing hard, hurt on both sides. This was not a fight about money anymore. It was a fight about what we believed love looked like under pressure. The worst part, I said, my voice shaking, is not the job loss or even the debt. It is that you thought you had to handle it alone. It is that you did not trust me enough to let me share this with you. It is not about trust, she said. Yes, it is, I said. You trusted me with your heart, but not with your problems. What kind of relationship is that? She grabbed her purse. I cannot do this right now, she said. Where are you going? My mom's. I need space. Running away will not solve anything, I said. Neither will staying here, she replied. I am sorry, Ryan. I am sorry I am not who you thought I was. Then she left. I sat on the couch for 2 hours, just staring. My phone buzzed a few times. Text from her saying she got to her mom's house safely, that she was sorry, that she needed a few days. I did not respond. Here is what hurt the most. I was not mad about the job. I was not even mad about the debt. I was mad that she had been suffering for almost 2 months and decided I would not be safe to tell. That said a lot about her fears. It also said something about me. Over the weekend, I thought a lot. I realized she was not crazy for being scared. Not because I would have left her, but because I had never clearly shown her that I would not. Our entire relationship, I had been the stable one. The one with the good salary, the career ladder, the savings. We never talked about what that felt like for her. We never talked about her money stress or her work anxiety. I assumed that silence meant everything was fine. Sometimes the problem is not that someone hides their pain. It is that we have not made it feel safe to bring that pain into the relationship. Sunday night, I texted her. I am not mad at you for losing your job. I am not mad about the debt. I am mad because I love you and you were hurting and I did not know. I should have helped make it safe for you to tell me. That is on both of us. I want to fix this if you do. She called an hour later, crying. We talked for 3 hours. She told me how inadequate she had felt for months, even before the layoff. How each rejection email felt like proof she was worthless. How she watched my career grow and assumed I would eventually see her as dead weight. I did not want you to see me like that, she said. I wanted to fix it first. That is not how this works, I said. You do not have to be perfect for me to love you. We agreed to meet Tuesday evening at the coffee shop where we had our second date. I did not wait until then to start trying to help. Monday morning, I called my friend Steve. He works in HR at a mid-sized tech company. I asked him about resumes, interview prep, what hiring managers look for in marketing candidates. He sent a resume template, common interview questions, and a list of recruiters who specialize in marketing roles. When Lena and I met on Tuesday, I brought my laptop and a folder. We found a table in the back. I am not trying to take over, I said before she could say anything. But I want to help if you will let me. She crossed her arms at first. Ryan, I can handle, I know you can, I said. But you do not have to handle it alone anymore. That is the point. We spent that evening going through her resume line by line. She had been applying to everything. Entry-level roles she was overqualified for. Senior roles she did not have enough experience for. Jobs and industries she did not even care about. We narrowed it down. Content strategy and digital marketing roles. Things she was good at and actually liked. We rewrote her resume to highlight her campaign results, numbers, and strengths. She had buried most of her wins under vague bullet points. We stayed until the coffee shop closed. The debt was harder. On Wednesday evening, she came back to the apartment for the first time since she left. We sat at the kitchen table. She cried while we went through her credit card statements. One card had a 28% APRA, 2 months of late fees. It was painful to look at. I feel so stupid, she said. I have a degree and I cannot even manage 3 credit cards. You are not stupid, I said. You were in crisis mode. You were trying to keep things from collapsing. Now we are going to switch from survival to a plan. We called the credit card companies together. I kept the calls on speaker so I could support her, but I let her talk. She explained that she had lost her job and was actively searching. She asked about hardship programs and temporary rate reductions. 2 of the 3 agreed to lower her rate for 6 months. Chase dropped her from 24% to 15%. Capital One would not change the rate, so we planned to pay that card down first. I did not offer to pay it all off. What she needed was not a rescue. She needed to feel capable again. We set up a payment plan. Once she had a job, she would put $400 a month toward the cards instead of just minimums. That would clear the debt in around 2 years instead of 5. This is going to take time, I told her, but you can do it, and I will be here while you do. The job hunt took longer than either of us wanted. She had 3 more interviews where she made it to the final round and then got rejected. One company had her do 4 hours of unpaid work for a sample campaign, then sent a 1-line rejection. Maybe I should just look for retail or office work, she said one night. Maybe I am not good at marketing. You are good at it, I said. These companies are not seeing it. That does not mean it is not there. Then, 2 weeks ago, she interviewed with an education tech startup called LearnPath for a content strategist role. First interview with the hiring manager went well. Second interview with the marketing team. They asked her to present a mock campaign. She worked on it for days. I think it went well, she said after. They were tough but fair. The next day, her phone rang. She put it on speaker. "Hi, Lena, it is Patricia from Learn Path. We would love to offer you the content strategist position. 72,000 a year, full benefits. Can you start a week from Monday?" Lena covered her mouth and started crying, this time from relief. "I did it," she said softly after the call ended. "I actually did it." Her new salary was more than her old one, 72 instead of 65. She started last Monday. When I picked her up after her first day, she came out of the building smiling. "The team is amazing," she said. "My desk is by a window. I am leading a campaign. They actually want my ideas." She could not stop talking about it. A week later, I was ready. I had been carrying the ring in my pocket for days, waiting for the right moment, not because of the job. I had already decided I wanted to marry her, but I wanted her to feel like herself again. On Saturday morning, I suggested we walk in Golden Gate Park. We parked near Stowe Lake and walked to the bench where we had our second date. "Do you remember this spot?" I asked. She laughed. "Yeah, you brought wine in plastic cups and tried to pretend you were fancy. You told me you were going to take over the marketing world," I said. "And I remember thinking, this woman does not need me, but I really hope she wants me." She smiled. "Where are you going with this, Ryan?" I took a breath and got down on one knee. "Lena," I said, "these last few months have been really hard. You lost your job. You felt like a failure. You were afraid to tell me because you thought I would see you as a burden. You thought you had to be perfect for me to stay." I pulled out the ring. "But here is what I learned. I do not want a life with someone who never fails. I want a life with someone real. Someone who feels scared but still shows up. Someone who can say, 'I am not okay,' and let me in. That is you. That has always been you. Will you marry me?" She could not speak at first. Then she nodded and whispered, "Yes." We sat on that bench for an hour just holding each other. Later, she told our close friends in a group chat. He saw me at my worst and decided that was exactly the person he wanted to build a life with. Right now, Lena is doing well at her new job. She is paying down her debt. We are in couples counseling, not because we are broken, but because we want to get better at communicating before the next hard thing hits. And I am still in cybersecurity, still living in the same apartment, but with a very different understanding of what partnership is supposed to look like. Here are some lessons from this story. Lesson 1. Secretive behavior is not always cheating. Sometimes it is shame, fear, or financial stress. The signs can look similar from the outside. Lesson 2. Trust is not just about sharing good moments. It is about feeling safe enough to share failure, debt, and fear without expecting instant judgment. Lesson 3. Helping a partner does not always mean paying off their problems. Sometimes real support means sitting beside them, making a plan, and letting them do the hard work with you there. Lesson 4. If one person is always the stable one, it is easy to forget how heavy that comparison can feel for the other. Check in on how the power and money balance feels, not just what the numbers are. Lesson 5. Relationships are not tested when everything is going well. They are tested when status, image, and certainty disappear, and you have to decide if you still choose each other. What about you if you were in Ryan's place? Would you have seen the signs as cheating or guessed there was something else going on? Have you ever hidden money or job problems from a partner because you were afraid of how they would see you share your thoughts? And let us know where you think they almost lost each other for good.